Singapore street food is world famous. Traditional stalls serve up a vast range of cheap and tasty dishes, a staple diet for the masses. But the COVID-19 pandemic is turning up the heat on the hawkers.
没有生意，totally 没有生意。
They face a stark choice to innovate or admit defeat.
The pressure is on, it's both physically and mentally as well as financially.
101 East examines how COVID-19 is changing Singapore's hawker culture. Beneath the shimmering skyline of the city-state where I grew up, a humble trade fuels the workforce. Across the island, some 20,000 food stalls serve up delicious dishes. A melting pot of cuisines by the early Chinese and Indian migrants who mingled with the local Malays.
Yeah, hello sir. This one you? Makan?
Yeah, good.
Okay.
These dishes have become part of Singapore's cultural heritage.
有一个白鸡腿饭，吃的加干跟碱哈。
Okay.
对。
I know the scene well. Mum used to sell chicken rice, considered one of the country's national dishes. And like many Singaporeans, I love my hawker food.
You know, this is really the smell and taste of growing up. It's my comfort food. And it's very much a part of Singapore's hawker culture. I can't believe I get to eat it for work.
A lot of hard work goes into making these dishes, kept alive by recipes and businesses passed down the generations. At the Golden Mile Food Centre, tucked away in one of Singapore's oldest neighbourhoods, 56-year-old Alice Chu sells fish soup and porridge. Her family has been in the hawker trade for 3 generations.
Thank you.
Alice took over the business from her mum, Cheng Giok Hiok, who's 80 years old and continues to help out. Madam Cheng moved from a roadside stall to this food centre 45 years ago. She worked tirelessly to raise 3 daughters. Alice is her youngest.
人口啊，无一工过啊，拢总家己做啦。我早个就洗碗、洗碗。
我从小就跟着我妈妈学啦，去看她切点菜呀、然后就头嘛，不会嘛，你就会切到手，啊，煮的时候不会啦，会烫到手，啊，很辛苦的。
Over the years, they've stayed true to traditional ways and built up a loyal customer base. But then along came the COVID-19 pandemic. In a nationwide fight to curb the coronavirus, most workplaces were shut down between April and June. Eateries could only serve takeaway food.
没有生意，totally 没有生意。我们的 rent 不用还，杂费不用还，还是不可以 cover 的啦。就是不止我们，我一个，每个都是一样，每个都会着急。
Hawker food is an integral part of Singaporean life. But half of the hawkers are more than 60 years old, and few young ones are joining the trade. I visit Alice and her mum on their day off. They don't expect their family to have a 4th generation of hawkers.
现在的年轻人真的是吃不了苦的啦，真的是很辛苦的一份工来的。
To make ends meet, Alice's stall is open more than 12 hours a day. She's on her feet the whole time.
哎呦，那个就 ，Oh my God 不可以讲了，就是整身痛。每个做手饭的就是会脚痛的。
那你的膝盖怎么样？
膝盖痛，我膝盖痛。doctor 说没有那个胶质了，要去开刀。
你本身有没有兴趣说希望你的孩子接班？
很矛盾呐、叫他们来继续来做，他们是很辛苦。叫他们不要来做的话呢，他们就 好像我们的那些传统的食物就会慢慢的消失了，很可惜。
Overheads are high, up to several thousand US dollars a month. A typical meal costs about $3 and hawkers take home only 10 to 15% in profit. Alice needs to sell more than 1,000 servings a month just to break even.
我们小贩行要卖出那份食物要物价廉美嘛。这份食物没有赚到这么多，那些年轻人的野心可能会比较大嘛，说麻辣糊摊。
Having seen how much hard work it takes, it wasn't something I wanted to do. But there is a young hawker who is confident of success.
I'm proud of my family fishball recipe.
Delanix Tan is just 22, but his family has been in the hawker business since his grandfather's time.
Handmade fishball, we could actually have it's more pa. Pa means that actually have more air inside because we use our hand to squeeze it.
At the end of 2019, Delanix applied to join a government program to start a hawker stall. The following April, his dream came true when he opened a fishball noodle stall in the business district. He named it Santai Fishball. Santai means 3 generations in Chinese. His parents' stall in the market provided a ready supply of fresh fish balls.
Since young, I've been helping out my dad. I've always wanted to start my own business. So I was thinking instead of wasting time to go and learn other things, I was thinking I can just work on this business and then maybe expand it.
But just 4 days after opening his stall, growing fears over COVID-19 triggered Singapore's restrictions. Delanix was forced to suspend business.
I was panicking because my money was on the line, and I was very passionate about this.
He had no income for 2 months. When the restrictions began to ease, Delanix couldn't wait to relaunch. To advertise, he posted in a popular Facebook group, Hawkers United Tapao, which was created during the crisis for hawkers to promote their food online.
I was quite taken aback by the response because my post basically went viral, and then there's a lot of news media, social media platform that actually featured me. So I got a lot of support from local Singaporeans and stuff. Some even donated money. I think Singaporeans are very happy that there is someone young that is willing to join the trade.
His passion caught the imagination of Singaporeans. But will he succeed?
It's quite daunting for them. I've spoken to a lot of young hawkers. What they fear is the older ones. Wow, they're going to eat me up.
KF Sito is a well-known champion of Singapore's hawker food. He says it's a tough industry to break into, even before the pandemic.
If you don't know the 360 game of being a professional hawker, you're just going to sit there and swat flies and watch your soup reduced to a sauce at the end of the day.
And this 360 game is important for luring customers.
Among a host of other things you should know as a brand new hawker. What must you sell? What must it look like? Do you understand the food culture it came from? Are you good on social media? How should you lay out your kitchen so that it's sexy when people walk by? Wow, hey. So all those little touches you've got to know.
Delanix did everything he could. But with the pandemic forcing many Singaporeans to work from home, hawker stalls in the city centre struggled.
Hi everyone, I'm Delanix. So today is basically the last day of Santai Fishball at Amoy Street.
In August, Delanix was forced to close his stall for good, just 2 months after he reopened.
Like many other hawkers at Amoy Street, we realized that food is just so bad and it's not sustainable to keep throwing money into this black hole. And I just want to do this video to thank you guys, especially those who supported me.
Which one is your store?
Also, basically, this was my store. Yeah.
And what about the rest around you? Were they affected as well?
Yeah, they are. I mean, today when we came in, I was shocked to see that this prawn noodle has really closed down, as well as the burger store over there.
And they were both affected by the...
Yes, deeply affected. For the store behind me, things are different because they have been doing this for very long. And their food is really good. I think the learning point is most important thing is building a customer base. I feel quite sad and nostalgic about this thing. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time already. And I also feel kind of embarrassed.
Passion is not enough, especially in street food.
it's becoming an all too familiar story for Sito.
So how hopeful are you for the future of Singapore's hawker culture?
Right now, it looks kind of grey, man. If you just walk, you see a lot of stalls are shuttering up. Not enough people are replacing the older hawkers that are going off. If things don't change, it will die. Maybe in 10 years' time, 15, 20 years' time, it will.
Desperate to keep their businesses alive, some hawkers are trying to adapt. With help from her daughter, Alice Chu began to embrace technology to sell her fish soup, using Facebook for online orders.
我女儿放一个 post 上去，然后就 send 给朋友啦，因为她是 church Christian 嘛，她的 Christian friend 就 text 我 WhatsApp 我 order，然后到有一天呢，有一个 customer 他帮我 post 上去那个 Hawker United 打包那边，说我有更多的新的 customer。疫情之后呢，我们才发现到我们真的是需要这些科技来维持我们的生意。
Thanks to mobile phone apps, people working from home are just a few swipes away from ordering in their favorite food. But not all hawkers want to do business with them.
Hello man, good morning. Can I help?
Like 58-year-old Sulaiman Abu.
Because they charge us very high. 34%, 32%. It's too high for us. It's not right. We cannot mark our price. You cannot simply just increase in price. It has to be portable to all.
A hawker for more than 40 years, Sulaiman runs a thriving stall selling nasi lemak. It's a traditional Malay dish, rice cooked with coconut milk and served with egg, fried anchovies, peanuts and chili paste.
One nasi lemak takeaway, please, thank you.
In 2013, Sulaiman was chosen as a master trainer to mentor new hawkers in a government program to preserve Singapore's food heritage.
To create this masterpiece, we need about 10 years to master. The hard thing is the preparation of the food. For me, it's no shortcut. Like how you prepare a chili, you must use a stone grinder.
For Sulaiman, the best way to future-proof his business is not technology, but to stay authentic to his parents' values.
When you think of nasi lemak, who do you think about?
Think about parents. And the hardship, the hard work they showed to us. And from there, we brought out, if you can deliver good food with a good price and with the same quality, people still come back to you. That's what I've been taught by our parents.
While established hawkers may still thrive on walk-in customers, home delivery has become a lifeline for others. And two young entrepreneurs have made it their mission to help.
1621，可以帮我再做多一个1622的吗
This is the char siu rice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Thank you, thank you.
Elroy Lim and Tai Zhang Kai call themselves the hawker heroes. Seeing how the pandemic affected stall owners, the two friends started a delivery service with a difference.
We are one of the few platforms that don't actually charge any commission or onboarding fees to the hawkers. So that's why they were really very skeptical.
Every single hawker that you see on our platform, I had a face-to-face conversation with them. Initially it was very tiring, but I guess a lot of them really suffering, so they took that chance with us.
The heroes take orders online for lunch on weekdays, featuring a different food center each day. Hawkers pay nothing for their services. Customers pay a flat delivery fee. All of it goes to the driver. Hawker heroes also charge customers 10% of the food bill for their services. But with just over 100 hawkers from 4 food centers on board, they're not even covering costs.
How do you plan to make it sustainable?
Well, I always have trouble with this question. For us to sustain, I think it's really a demand and supply thing. So as long as the hawkers want, we are committed to be here. My motivation to start Hawker Heroes is really to help out the older hawkers. Uncle, Auntie, 早安，谢谢，今天有 order 哦，可以哦。对，谢谢你。
Today's a big day for the hawker heroes. They are expanding to their 5th food center, bringing their services to Chinatown complex.
Finally, it's like a dream come true for us in Chinatown. Because Chinatown is quite legendary in Singapore, right? It's one of the largest hawker centers here. And we have been wanting to be able to help them for the longest time because of the sheer number of older hawkers.
Today, they're putting in extra effort before the collection time to remind hawkers of food orders sent the night before.
我是那个 hawker hero 的。我们有 order 今天有收到吗？
今天 order 啊？
你谢有没有跟你讲？星期五，今天今天。
谁要吃？哎呦！有。哦啊
，OK。
我未记你拜过呢。
Another hawker couldn't figure out how to load the order details on his smartphone.
I actually sent you last night already.
But I saw order,
Oh, there, I show you.
We hope that after maybe a couple of more times, as the hawkers get more used to using WhatsApp, checking the message, we can get this whole operation more smooth out. I've been here since I was young, ordering food from them, but right now I'm able to help get them through this tough time as well. It makes me feel very happy about that.
To save costs, Elroy helps with the delivery as well. But one thing continues to trouble him.
Not all food sits well being packed away because the sauce gets absorbed and whatnot. By the time all this food it reaches the customer, it becomes a bit lumpy, a bit dry, so it really doesn't do justice to the quality of food that the hawkers actually do deliver.
Today I'm meeting someone who's already trying to solve this problem. Chef Ming Tan runs a chain of restaurants. Business has suffered from the pandemic, and he hopes his invention will help it turn the corner.
Hawker fare is loved by everyone. Whether you're rich or poor, it's a common local thing.
Ming and his team spent 4 months researching how to cook Hokkien mee, a famous noodle dish that requires plenty of skill with a wok and fire control. He calls his version the damn easy Hokkien mee. It comes pre-packaged. Customers complete the final steps of the cooking at home in 10 minutes, straight out of the fridge, using just a pot on a stove.
How do you think it measures up with a really good Hokkien mee from a hawker centre?
This is the first item that we brought to markets and we're happy with. We're going to carry on refining this. I think there's some aspects of flavour that I still can't replicate and put it down to the old masters and their skill.
At $18 for a pack that feeds 2 or 3 people, it's nearly 3 times more expensive than fresh Hokkien mee fried up by the old masters. But most Singaporeans expect hawker food to be cheap and are unwilling to pay more.
I think the mentality will have to shift. In terms of our price increase, there's definitely room. Maybe I should, be more willing to spend the extra, maybe 50 cents or $1 on their food items.
As Singapore weathers the worst recession in its 55-year history, Elroy and Zhang Kai have front row seats to how the pandemic is hurting the hawkers.
There was a period of time, I think, especially in the last 1 to 2 months, every Friday we had one vendor coming, messaging us, say, hey bro, thanks for the support, we'll be closing down. It's heartbreaking for us. I think Singaporeans have to see what it takes to be a hawker, the hard work behind, the long hours.
What they don't realize is that they are enjoying all this very low price food at the expense of the hawker.
How do you see the future of Singapore's hawker culture?
So if this doesn't change, we should see more and more of them closing down because of the price issues.
Pang Wing Hong and his wife, Chia Siu Hock, retired this year after a lifetime as hawkers. His knee can no longer withstand the hours of standing after 50 years in the trade. Cataracts hinder his vision. They had to sell their business for $15,000, less than half of what they wanted.
你会失望吗？没办法，因为脚痛，还要戴眼睛。
有一个是要来顶的是，他价钱放比较高一点啊。我们2个商量之后，我说他完全没有这个功夫啊，也没有煮过东西的人，应该不可以给他啦。
Their noodle stall has been the main draw in this coffee shop since Mr. Pang's father started it in 1949. The new owner is a younger hawker. As part of the sale, he will retain the stall's facade and signboard, and Mr. Pang will impart his wealth of knowledge. Mr. Pang is teaching how to cook the dish that made him famous, Hokkien Mee. I know another person who might benefit from his mastery. I've arranged for Chef Ming to come today so that the Pangs can do a taste test of his pre-packaged Hokkien Mee.
师傅啊，希望你们能够接受我的福建面啊！我今天煮给你们吃，我也是有点担心啊。
会啊，不会啊，
真的，我担心。
我觉得这个面是 OK， 味道 OK。就是我现在是没有吃到3层肉，怪怪的。
啊，一片一片的。
啊，对。
但是你听我讲嘛，冰冻的3层肉，放在汤锅一片也好，放在汤
熬一下子，
所有在那些，然后那3层肉不会没有味道。
它的比较好，原味好，就是保持原状，就是好像新鲜的。
只不过这些虾有点贵了。
一个虾不会加这么多。
太多了。
你可以改良，就是放3层肉，还有那个手工质量啊，就是调和它价钱就是对了啦。
A few more trade secrets later, it's time to ask the all-important question.
明，你讲讲你10分给自己打几分？
哇，我自己给差不多7分吧。
你们给他10分打几分？
我给他7分半。
哇，谢谢。
OK 啦，我是跟他一样7分。
不要成功喽！
不要成功，他已经差不多成功了。
This is such a heartwarming experience, you know, speaking to these two masters of Hokkien noodles. I'm very humbled at the fact that I'm learning so much just from one conversation with them. I am determined to turn that 7 out of 10 into an 8 or 9 out of 10.
With the pandemic far from over, most hawkers can't afford another crisis. Just as Alice Chu's fish soup business is beginning to improve, the food center where she works is about to close for 3 months for renovation.
没有办法啦，不用吃了吗？新加坡人哪里可以3个月不用做工的？全工咯，全工做咯，我做晒，我咪做嚟燒。好，我熱水換嘅，我呢單愛叫我做 supervisor 咧。呢頭嘅呢單啊，
我嚟做工啦，做工嚟做啦。
呢個就冇人愛啊。
我嚟呢個小碗就冇人愛，教人我呢個小碗。
你卡疼了，你小碗。
下擺 at least 伊無做了吼，還是你拖無人接手，你會家己安怎袂？
我就去了喎，80歲了嘛啦。老了嘛，有淡個想長嘅代志，無了啦，免想了咯。
好好過日子就對了啦。啊，對。
伊咱好你我去食糜，開就好了啦，對唔對？
For young Delenix Tan, it's not quite the end of the road yet for his hawker journey. On weekends, he still helps his family at their stall in a neighborhood market. The signboard from his fishball noodle adventure hangs right here.
And just bring it over so people can know that this brand is still alive. If in the future there's an opportunity in the market that is near my dad's dish, right, I might consider reopen again because I already know the fundamentals.
The proximity will help him save on the cost of transporting supplies from his dad's store. But his decision also hinges on the cost of labor. Singapore doesn't allow low-wage foreign workers to be hired as stall assistants. Delenix hopes that will change.
The major concern for me is manpower issue. Most of our workers here is all family members and they're already aging already. It will really help with the workload and I think that will actually can attract more people to join the trade.
And to help them thrive in the trade, Sito has long insisted that young hawkers need formal training.
We really need to set up a hawker culinary institution, a hawker food institution, not just teaches people about how to cook and how to set up a stall, but the full gamut of being a street food professional worldwide. I think there are no heroes in our hawker food culture. We don't have like a Gordon Ramsay or maybe a Bourdain or somebody of hawker culture that people want to admit, oh wow, I can be that.
What's the problem?
Disdain. They like it but they want to be in it. Singaporeans think hawkers are there to provide them a service cheaply and affordably. Okay? They feel that, oh, it's a culture I can blog about. But to ask them to go and cook and do this, no. I got money, I don't want to be a hawker.
Maybe that's why my parents never wanted me to be a hawker, and neither did I aspire to be one. Today, chicken rice brings back fond memories of growing up, but it's never quite as good as how Mum cooked it. I'm biased, of course. But the pandemic has unmasked some hard truths. Until hawkers become heroes, no amount of tech innovation will keep our street food culture alive.